Some scientists connected to advanced research projects have been found dead. And in certain cases, the explanations didn't convince everyone. Others have simply disappeared. Coincidence? Or is something happening that we still can't see? Because when these cases start to add up, the question is no longer what happened, but why. When we think about science, we think about progress, discovery, evolution. But not all knowledge follows a visible path. Some discoveries change the world. Others simply fade away. And that raises an uncomfortable question. Who decides what can, and what cannot, be revealed? Today, we're going to examine some of these cases. Look at what is actually known, and explore possibilities, without making any claims. Just connecting the dots, and seeing how far they go. Not every scientific breakthrough becomes widely recognized. Some names disappear from the conversation. Certain ideas are pushed aside. And in some situations, information never reaches the public. On its own, this doesn't prove anything. But it does show that the path of knowledge isn't always transparent. In recent years, a few cases have started to draw attention not because they confirm a pattern, but because they raise questions. One of them involves McCandlish. McCandlish was not an ordinary theorist. He was an elite technical illustrator who worked for giants in the defense and aerospace industry. His job required surgical precision to draw the most advanced aviation technology. But his life changed radically after a report from a colleague about something seen at a private display at Norton Air Force Base. 3 craft hovering, silent, with no visible engines or aerodynamic control surfaces. He called it the ARV. Alien Reproduction Vehicle. McCandlish spent decades detailing how this technology would work using high-voltage capacitors and what he described as zero-point energy. He claimed that the US military had possessed zero-gravity technology since the 1980s. In April 2021, McCandlish was found dead. The official report ruled it as an act against himself. But why would someone with this level of knowledge die just weeks before the government began admitting that these UAPs are real? The timing was precise. Only 2 months before the historic Pentagon report on UAPs was released to Congress. Some associates claim he was about to give official testimony regarding black projects and the misuse of classified funds. Was he a man overwhelmed by the pressure of his discoveries? Or was he silenced before he could speak on the record? This pattern of questionable endings isn't limited to aerospace. There's also the case of Dr. David Kelly, a leading expert on biological weapons, found dead in 2003. Kelly was at the absolute center of a global storm. He was a key source for reports questioning the justifications for the Iraq War. He was a man who knew exactly what was hidden in the shadows of international conflict. When he was found in the woods near his home, the official verdict was again another act against himself. But even years later, medical experts and colleagues point to inconsistencies in the forensic evidence. Was Kelly a victim of the immense pressure he was under, or did he know something that made his continued presence a liability for those in power? In the world of high-stakes intelligence, sometimes the messenger is more dangerous than the message itself. At the same time, technological advancement in China has been accelerating rapidly. Artificial intelligence, quantum computing, surveillance systems. A level of growth that has drawn global attention. And alongside that progress, certain cases have sparked discussion. One example is Zhang Shoucheng, a renowned physicist in quantum technology. He died in 2018. Officially, it was one more time an act against himself. What stands out is the context. This happened shortly after investigations involving technology transfer between nations. Another name often mentioned is Yao Tingting, connected to artificial intelligence research. Her death was described as sudden and raised questions in online communities. And when we look at these cases side by side, there's something else that starts to stand out. Not in the official reports. Not in the headlines. But in what happens, just before everything changes? But there's something else. A detail that keeps showing up, quietly, in cases like these. Right before everything changes. Colleagues describe it almost the same way. A shift. Subtle at first. Then, impossible to ignore. Conversations that suddenly stop when someone enters the room. Projects that become restricted overnight. Researchers who start choosing their words very carefully. Not fear. Something else. Awareness. In a few cases, there are mentions, brief, almost accidental, of work being done on something sensitive. Something that, according to them, wasn't meant to go public. And then, nothing. No papers. No follow-up. No explanation. And here's where it gets more interesting. Because in high-level research, timing is never random. Breakthroughs don't just happen. They build. Under pressure. Under funding. Under attention. So when someone, right at that point, suddenly disappears from the process, not just physically, but professionally, publicly, it doesn't just end a story. It interrupts something. Something that, in some cases, was getting very close to a result. And maybe that's the part we should be paying attention to. Not only what happened to these individuals, but what stopped happening after they were no longer there. Because in science, losing a person is tragic. But losing what only that person knew, that can change everything. To understand why these cases are so significant, we have to look at what is currently at stake. We are living through a silent technological arms race. In the 20th century, power was measured by the size of your army. In the 21st century, power is measured by algorithms and quantum supremacy. In this environment, a single breakthrough can shift the balance of global power overnight. This raises a heavy question. In a world where a formula is worth more than gold, how far would certain entities go to ensure that technology stays in the right hands? If a scientist discovers a way to bypass global encryption or generate free energy, what is more valuable? The discovery, or the silence of the one who found it? When we look at these names together, a specific profile emerges. These weren't just academics, they were pioneers in disruptive fields. From zero-point energy to biological defense and quantum mechanics. These are the fields that define the future. Is it possible that the common thread isn't the cause of death, but the potential impact of their research? As we move closer to unlocking the deepest secrets of our reality, the stakes only get higher. Are we witnessing the natural toll of high-stakes science? Or the calculated protection of the world's most dangerous secrets? Advanced scientific projects, like those conducted at CERN, have already sparked debates about the limits of science. But where is that limit? Are we dealing purely with technological advancement? Or something we still don't fully understand? In previous videos, we explored prophecies, ancient texts, and modern technologies. And one question keeps coming back. Is there a connection between ancient knowledge and current discoveries? Question isn't what happened to these scientists, but what they knew. In the end, it could all be coincidence. Or maybe, we're only seeing the surface of something much bigger. Now I want to hear from you. Do you think all of this is just coincidence, or could there be something we still don't fully understand? Is the human tendency to see patterns hiding a much darker reality? Leave your thoughts in the comments, I read every single one. And if this kind of content makes you question things, subscribe to the channel. Because the next videos go even deeper into this.